price to pay. Ain't no need to lag.
What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab. Let me make sure. Struggle bus today, trying to, get the changeover from my wife using my space to here. Just a second. Let me make sure it's going on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. So, continuing to adjust to the growing pains of trying to turn that light up a little bit. Just to the growing pains of coming up with having the new start date or start time or whatever, I guess I should say. We're starting at 12:30 now instead of 11:30. A lot of people are used to 11:30. I think it's going to probably take some time to get some people used to it. Unfortunately, we're going to have, like I said, people just got to get used to it. Right now there's 4 people watching right now. A bit lower than what we've been at in the past, but hopefully we get some of those usual people, coming around and getting to enjoy the stream at 12:30. I'll just make sure I continue to talk about it, continue to, post about it and everything like that. That way you guys, we continue to have content and everything. But if you're here now, say hi. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet this, say hi, as well. We've got some college football on today that we'll get to talk about. And we can get into it. I'll work on sharing my screen here. Yesterday, here, let me see. Oops. Well, whatever. Share screen. All kinds of throwing off, man. Not used to like literally getting my my space back at 12:30 and having to try to get going. Let's see. Yesterday's podcast sucked. 0-3. Man, I missed every bet I put out. Personal, Discord, podcast. What we were on Brees Hall, Hunter Henry, and Ramondre Stevenson. The Patriots run the ball at like the third highest rate, 37.5 times per game. They ran the ball 6 times. Ramondre Stevenson ran the ball 6 times. He ran in the first 2 games 20 and 25 times. I think he ran the ball 6 times. They ran the ball just 5 times in the first half. And not even to like them just being behind, like, in the third quarter, they ran the ball 1 time. So I mean, the Patriots just destroyed that game. Realistically, Patriots just look horrendous. I mean, you look at the Patriots wide receivers. I mean, they got guys that wouldn't even be like third string. Their wide receivers are all like wide receiver 3 and 4s on other teams. I mean, there's not a lot of talent there. You look at Hunter Henry had, such a good game the week before, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's make sure we utilize Austin Hooper in the pass nonstop and not target Hunter Henry. So just very, very, I mean, honestly, incredibly frustrating, but I guess I've matured. I've grown, I didn't go to bed upset, look, I'm upset. I lost money. I lost a lot of money. I don't want my wife to hear. But I lost a good chunk. And I needed Ramondre Stevens to have 40 yards for a builder. Man, dude had 80 yards back-to-back games. He only had 20-something yards. He only ran the ball 6 times. I mean, you just can't control that. You can't handicap stuff like that. You just can't control stuff like that. It's put your hands up, move on. It's frustrating. Super, 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 super frustrating, ungodly frustrating, incredibly frustrating to watch a team that when I handicap my props, I handicap what I think the game's going to do, what I think is going to go on. And you run into you look at this Patriots team. Look, the Jets got gashed on the ground against the 49ers. The Jets have been getting up a bunch of rush yards. They haven't been able to stop the run. They had middle linebackers missing even. So I thought for sure that he was going to run the ball well. I think that they just completely abandoned the run. And yeah, I mean, he hurt his pinky or something like that when he face masked the dude. but that was well outside of them not running the ball. They had ran the ball like 2 times, 3 times in the first quarter. So when he got kind of banged up, they still at that point had given up on the run. In the first two drives, I think they'd only ran the ball 1 time. So they completely abandoned what worked for them. They were one of like I said, the third highest rushing team, rushing rate going against a just defense that was terrible against the run, and they just decided they wanted to pass the ball. They wanted to step back and throw the ball a lot. Crazy, I mean, you just can't control it. I don't know why coaches think that they want to go and what's it called? Why they think they want to like be cute and go against the grain or stop doing exactly what they're doing, so whatever. Let's talk about some college football here real quick. Like I said, my mouth feels weird for some reason. It's like numb. Yeah, the like side of my mouth. I better not be having a stroke. Somebody call 911 if you need to. Just kidding, but seriously. Okay, so anyway, new show at 12:30. I mean, there's really like nobody in here right now. But we'll continue. Hopefully, people watch on a recorded version. If you're watching on a recorded version, this is somebody that used to be live. Whatever, comment. I mean, if I had to push it to 1, I suppose I could. I don't know if there's a better time. I want to try to continue to grow YouTube, continue to grow Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Everything's at Live Joe Bets. If you want to check me out, follow me on any of those things. But I don't know. Before we get into the plays here, link at the bottom here for Trophy Sports Pick. Got a monthly, a bi-weekly as well. All caps NFL 35 gets you 35% off on your first month if you want to check that out. I have a builder type play that involves player props. So, if you're in a state that can't bet it, sorry, but I mean, I feel incredibly good about the bet. I mean, I would bet the farm on it kind of thing, so we'll see how it comes out. But I got that posted in the Discord if you're interested. But here we go. I've spent the day so far, the majority of the day, just kind of back and forth. On Fridays are my day where I just really just dig into college football the entire day. Also shout out the boys of fall. Zach, how many bettors are dropping picks in there? That's a good question. So I mean, this is what the Discord looks like. Obviously, it's my channel, so Sports Laydown is the main dude. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 VIP cappers, which is a little bit high to be honest, but some of these guys, actually there's 15. He's not actually pulled up right now. Like, Feezy is just does UFC. Brandon and Deb, wherever she's at. Why don't I see her? I don't know. We have 2 people that just do soccer. Spread just does tennis. Marco just does first baskets, anytime touchdown. So like it's spread out or whatever. So Chief does money lines and spreads, doesn't do a lot of props. Maggie is another builder like me. So like it's just there's a plethora, really. Zach, I feel like I've seen you on TikTok, actually. I forget what I was talking about, but anyway, don't forget that we have the show at 8:30 tonight. It's called The Boys of Fall. It's at 8:30 Eastern. That's 8 hours essentially from now. Myself and Ty will each have 5 plays. We talk about our 5 best bets for the upcoming Saturday slate. Obviously, if you guys are in there live, we also answer questions. If neither of us have a play on the Tennessee game, somebody wants to know about Tennessee, then obviously we can give our opinion on that. We have honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I like tomorrow. I don't have a ton of stuff to I don't have a ton of stuff to talk about today, so we can briefly remember I got to be done at 1:00. We're on a strict 30-minute podcast now. Show on Discord is definitely worth since sports betting has been legal to the NC. Awesome. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, there's thousands. I mean, I think there's like, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think like 7,000 people in there. There's a lot of people in there. there's a lot of good games on. We got 3 games on today. We got looking at the 12 o'clock here quickly, the best 12 o'clock game tomorrow. I'm pretty bullish on IU. I really like the IU game. Ohio State, of course. Marshall's talking about giving the guys biscuits, all you can eat biscuits on an NIL deal if they come over. I think Ohio State's going to destroy Marshall. Those are the 2 big games at 12 tomorrow. Then you get into, Saturday at 3:30, USCL and LSU. I think LSU is going to mash UCLA. Missouri is another good one, beating up on Vandy. Georgia Tech, Louisville, I think could be a good over game. The big game at 3:30, though, you got USC and Michigan at Michigan. I think that's going to be a really good game. Leaning under on that game, I would imagine. That's not one I have for the podcast, though. Sometimes my best bets are the game, off the beaten track kind of thing. So that's not, really one of those on the podcast, I don't think. Utah, Oklahoma State, is Cam Rising playing? There's a lot of, up and down there. So, a little nervous about that. TCU, SMU is one of my podcast plays. I think, really thinking we're going to see a lot of points here, over 59.5. They call it the Iron Skillet. It's just a rivalry type game. TCU's, got that, what's his name? Whatever the quarterback is that they have. What is his name? I don't have props up right now, of course. And then SMU has moved away from Stone, is going Jennings, who's a nice mobile threat. So I like the over there. I think Liberty might turn around here and try to figure out how to get a cover. We got what else is on here tomorrow? We got Tennessee, Oklahoma at 7:30, which is obviously the best night game that we have. I certainly lean Tennessee at the -6.5. Tennessee under 7. I think Tennessee first quarter could even be a really good look too. Tennessee is the number 1 scoring team in terms of first quarter points so far this year. Fresno State team total. Kansas State, BYU is going to be a really good game. I think Kansas State -6.5 is a good look. Honestly, like a Kansas State and like a Tennessee money line play, -108 feels delicious. Let's talk about today. Jason, Nebraska money line, Washington money line, Syracuse money line. Square. Certainly square. Seems like the good spot, the way to go. +107. I don't have a play on San Jose State, Washington State. I feel San Jose State can cover. I think that San Jose State's not getting enough credit for like how good their offense might be. Washington State's pass defense is actually really bad. San Jose State has like the top 15, top 17, I think, 17th best offense, passing offense. Washington State is like bottom 10 in the nation, if I'm not mistaken. So they are, I feel San Jose State is just getting slept on in this spot, honestly. So we'll talk about the first game here. Zach, yeah, I would lean 8.5 on Illinois, though. I went back and forth on it for a while. I'll talk about a play. We'll talk about the game in a second, though. I got 2 plays in this first game, and then we'll see. I would agree with it, but we're gonna have a little bit of a conflicting kind of thing there. So first play, and we'll get it out of the way here first. For those, I know that a lot of you guys can't bet on player props, but I'm gonna go with Kyle McCord here, over 298 passing yards. I really do think that like his passing touchdowns might not be a bad look either. At over 2.5 at +148. To put into perspective this year, if we were so what he's done so far, this man's thrown 4 touchdowns in both games, and he has thrown for at least 350 yards in both games. If he was to do exactly like he's been doing, we have a +700. He's done this in both games so far. I am going to ask this man to throw for 298 yards. Kyle McCord is the old Ohio State quarterback, for those of you that don't remember. He went to Syracuse, and everybody's like, what are you doing? He didn't really do that well at Ohio State. He goes over to Syracuse, goes over here, and is actually looking incredible. I'll show you a couple things here. We'll go to Team Ranker here, one of my favorite websites to look at. You can go to, we're on pass yards right here. Sort it worst to last. Stanford, 129. There's 134 FBS football teams in the nation. Stanford is 129th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th most passing yards given up on average, giving up 353 yards through the air. That is a pretty decent amount. Hopefully, I'm not lagging. I got a 1 bar thing popping up on this thing here. They give up a lot of pass yards, a lot of pass yards. You look at them last year. All right, entire thing last year. 299. They were dead last. They were dead last last year. They are all 6 from last this year. Playing in a dome tonight, so we know we have perfect conditions. This man's thrown for 350 plus in every game. He's going against a pass defense that is honestly horrendous. And offense, it's not actually too bad. I think they're going to get a couple scores on them. Syracuse wins this game. They might score a couple that will continue to have them passing, everything like that. Feels good. Feels good. 298 on Kyle McCord. Also going to scroll down here and take Syracuse total points. Team total over 33.5 here. Let me double check what it is over here on DraftKings just to see if there's not like a better number. Sometimes DraftKings has a slightly better number. Yeah, it's all good. So you think about football numbers. We want it under 34.5, 35 and above would means that they need to have more than 5 touchdowns. 35, 7 times 5 is 35 points. 5 touchdowns equals, a cash here. Syracuse is averaging 34 point something, 34.5, 35 points per game so far. This is a spot where, like I said, I think their passing offense is just going to be incredible in this game. Look, if Kyle McCord comes out here and like shits the bed and sucks, then look, I'm cooked all over the place. Like I've got a get back bet tonight that is riding on Kyle McCord's shoulders, and I'm okay with that. I always say if I'm going to lose a bunch of money, I want it to be on my bet, on my read. My read in this game is that Kyle McCord is thrown for 350 plus yards. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns in every game. Running back wise, they're not really running the ball very well. I think they have 1 rushing touchdown so far in the 2 games. They're going against a Stanford defense that has gotten gashed on the ground and through the air, and they really haven't played anybody. They played TCU and an FBS or FCS team or something like FCS team, I think, but they're still giving up a lot of pass yards through the air. Last year, they gave up the most pass yards through the air, and they're continuing into that. I feel like it's just a fantastic look. I feel strong about it. I feel okay about it. I'm okay letting it hang, so to speak, on the play that I have dropped in the Discord, which has some similarities to what we're talking about here. But I just don't see a world where Kyle McCord doesn't have a good game. And if he comes out here and he sucks, then I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna be on here, Sunday morning shaking my head when I'm talking about NFL and just because I don't do a show on Saturday mornings. There's too much going on. Just shaking my head, trying to figure out what's going on. Speaking of too much going on, I'm trying to figure out how to continue to incorporate TikTok. Zach, if you're still in here, I know you said you watched on watched on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Appreciate you. Trying to get into TikTok. I missed every play I put out there. And the TikTok lingo, like I said, is using the word lock and this and that. And then, man, those comments they're mean. You got some mean people. This dude commented, put like a laughing emoji on like every comment. So it's it's like, bro, can you like chill, my guy? Like, we lost it. First, it was a 4-leg parlay. It's not, you can't, no one's upset that missed, but and then the whole Brees Hall, Brees Hall not getting 4.5 catches. He had his 5th catch called back from a hold, and then Braylon Allen got 3 catches, which is the most he's had in his career so far in the 3 games. But I move on. We had some stupid stuff going on, in the NFL. It's been very frustrating. Move on to the next game. I will say too, there's some pretty good boosts for tomorrow too. I feel like I'm lagging. Last week I had a plus 2,000 something stepped up parlay on DraftKings. If you're unfamiliar, you need 11 legs and it'll give you a plus 100% boost. Every leg has to be minus 500. So I was taking a lot of stuff and doing some extreme type like Bama to win the first half. I would take Stanford and give them like 30 points, and take Nebraska and give them 10 points and do whatever. So I had like 11 minus 500 lines and 100% boost. We ended up, made $1,400 on it or something like that. I don't see a stepped up yet for DraftKings, which is a bummer. There is the 50% boost. Maybe that's the route I go, and go with like a safer, like if I roll IU minus 28.5, maybe I come in and I move them down to, you know, 20.5 instead of 28.5. That way we only need 3 touchdowns instead. And if it's just going to be a leg of a parlay, then, that's not so bad kind of thing. Sometimes you can't do it though. Like sometimes some games, like they're not big enough, they don't allow you to do stuff like that. I mean, minus 287 is a parlay leg. It's not that bad if you're going to have a 4 or 5 leg. All right. Anyway, last game, Nebraska, Illinois. So getting back up here in team ranker here, I think Illinois can cover this. I think honestly, it's tough though, guys. It's really going to be tough. I lean more so under in this game. I think under is probably the better look in this game. Both teams play. Let's see. Pretty slow, I think. Nebraska, 29.8 seconds per play. That's 115th lowest out of 134. And then Illinois up here at 122. So both teams are in the bottom, I don't know, whatever that is, 20 or something like that in terms of pace of play. So they play really slow. I think there's going to be more running. But the way I'm going with it for today is going to be this way. Nebraska is tied for the 13th most points in the first quarter at 10.5. You have to go all the way down here to 61 at Illinois, who's only scoring 5 on average. I am going to go with Nebraska first quarter minus 1.5. That means we can cash in quite a few ways. We have, a field goal, 3-0 field goal. We have a touchdown by Nebraska and then an Illinois field goal, or we're up 3-0, we're up 7-3, whatever the situation is, we need to be up by 2 points. So realistically, it's a field goal. As long as that number is under a field goal, I feel good about it. Nebraska, like I said, is scoring 10.5 points per game in the first quarter. Illinois is only putting up 5 per game on average. I only have 5 minutes. The wife's got to get back to lunch. But with this play, we have Nebraska. I'm sure you've seen it. 400 home games in a row have they sold out. They have sold out at home 400 straight games. Nebraska is a pretty rowdy place to play at. It's loud. The fans are crazy. Nebraska is undefeated. The fans have something to be excited about. The fans are going to be screaming their heads off. The fans are going to be going crazy. I think Illinois is going to start slow. I think there's going to be false starts. I think there's going to be an early timeout called. I think they're going to struggle to get the play call in. I think that for those of you who played the football game, the stadium pulse is going to be wild. I think they're going to struggle. It's going to be loud. It's going to be 3rd and long. The cameras are going to be shaking. I think that I think it's going to be rowdy as hell, and I think it's going to be loud, and I think Illinois is going to take a second to adjust to the hostile environment that they're in, and that's going to give Nebraska time to get up in the first quarter and for us to get that win in the first quarter, which is what I'm thinking. Whole state of Nebraska pulls up, that's for sure. So to recap then for today, guys, then we'll just, we'll slowly close out of here. Like I said, Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, my wife's work from home, and, we got the new time frame here. So working on continuing to, promote that, make people know. Missing a lot of the familiar faces that I'm used to. So I got to get them used to coming at that 12:30 time frame. But we're going to go with Kyle McCord over 298.5 yards. Let me double check here really fast to make sure, because sometimes DraftKings has like a way lower number. Oh, I hate that they don't do the over under. So yeah, they're forcing you to bet them at 300. So FanDuel's better. Kyle McCord over 298.5 passing yards. Syracuse team total over 33.5. And Nebraska minus 1.5 is going to be the official plays for the podcast. Like I said, show is at 12:30. If you're watching this on a recorded version, you're trying to figure out what's going on. We've moved the show to 12:30. I'm going to continue to tweet about it. I'm going to continue to talk about it. The show's at 12:30 now. Obviously, we're going to have, it's going to be quicker, a little more, concise. Sometimes it gets into 40 minutes, so we're not losing a whole lot. It's a lot of fluff probably, but those are the three plays. I'm going to do my best to continue to work on, the TikTok plays. If you follow me on TikTok at Live Joe Bets, I'm pushing 2,000 followers over there. Marcus, pull it back up here, but yeah, watch the recording, but you got the plays right here. Like I said, follow me on TikTok too. Just a matter of trying to figure out, like I said, we've got a house full of kids. I don't have my own space. I don't have my man cave or anything like that. I don't have a space where I record or do work. It's literally in the corner of the bedroom. And I bought another desk just to the right of me that my wife has her second monitor, her work computer set up. And now that she's officially trained on the job, she's got to be stuck to the computer. So that's where we're at with it. I'm gonna, I can produce the show, come in here and record it later, try to get, stuff out or whatever. I'm gonna try to get a Sunday night TikTok video out or whatever, So, but I'm gonna get out of here so she can get back to work. I appreciate you guys. And Zach, I think they probably do cover. Appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys back Sunday morning for NFL. I'll see you tonight at 8:30 for the Boys of Fall podcast, where we can talk more college football.